Hey guys, it's me. Sorry about this late video. I've been feeling really well, and kind of feel like my life's about to end over after this weekend's over. And I don't mean that like physically because that's something I would never do. But I got an appointment with Destiny on Monday, and I'm really hoping that it doesn't end badly. So be praying for me, please. Uh, Today we're going to be doing Matthew 13, 10 through 17. It's actually entitled Eyes Screwed Shut, and I'm going to do three of them, so I'm going to go through these really quickly, and then I'm going to talk about it all at the end. The disciple came along to ask, "Why do you tell stories?" He replied, "You've been giving insight into God's kingdom. You know how it works. Not everybody has this gift, this insight. It hasn't been given to them. Whenever someone has a ready heart for this, the insights and understanding flow freely. But if there's no readiness, any trace of receptibility soon disappears. That's why I tell stories, to create readiness, to nudge people towards receptive sight. In their present state, they can stare till doomsday and not see it. Listen until they're blue in the face and not get it. I mean, don't we all mean that? We don't get it, so we get mad and we get blue in the face. I don't want Isaiah's forecast repeated all over again. Your ears are open, but you don't hear a thing. Your eyes are awake, and you don't see a thing. The people are blockheads. They stick their fingers in their ears so they don't have to listen. Isn't that how we all are? They screw their eyes shut, and they won't have to look, so they won't have to deal with me face to face and let me heal them. But you have God-blessed eyes, eyes that see, and God-blessed ears, ears that hear. A lot of people, prophets, and humble believers among them, would have given anything to see what you were seeing, to hear what you were hearing, but they've never had the chance. And we'll come back to that because that's one of my favorite passages ever. The softened heart. On the day that the Pharisees were badgering him, "Is it legal for a man to divorce his wife for any reason?" He answered, "Haven't you read the Bible? That the Creator originally made man and woman for each other, male and female. And because of this, a man leaves father and mother and firmly bonded to his wife. They become one flesh. No longer two bodies but one. Because God created this organic union of two sexes. No one should desecrate this art by cutting them apart." They shot back in rebuttal. "If that's so, why did Moses give instructions for divorce papers and divorce procedures?" Isn't that a good question? So Jesus replied, "Moses provided divorce as a concession to your hard-heartedness, but it's not part of God's original plan. I'm holding you to the original plan and holding you liable for adultery if you divorce your faithful wife and then marry someone else. I'm making an exception in cases where the spouse has committed adultery." Wow. Aren't we all just losing our minds over these things, right? Day 8 reads a matter of the heart. It's chapter 15, 1 through 14. After the Pharisees and religious scholars came to Jesus all the way from Jerusalem criticizing, "Why do your disciples play fast and loose with the rules?" But Jesus put them right back on it. "Why do you use your rules to play fast and loose with God's commands? God clearly says, respect your father and mother, and anyone denouncing father and mother should be killed. But you weasel around it saying, whoever wants to can say to father and mother, what I have owed you, I have given to God." What? Oh, hold on. That can hardly be called respecting a parent. You cancel God's command by your rules. Frauds. Isaiah's prophecy of you hit the bullseye. These people make a big show of saying the right thing, but their heart isn't in it. They act like they're worshiping me, but they don't mean it. They just use me as cover for teaching whatever's their fancy. He then called the crowd together and said, "Listen, and take this to heart. If not you, it's not what you swallow that pollutes your life, but what you vomit up." Later, the disciples came to him and said, "Did you know how upset the Pharisees were and heard what you said?" Later, the disciples came and told him, and Jesus shrugged it off. Every tree that wasn't planted by my Father in heaven will be pulled up by its roots. Forget them. They're blind men leading blind men. Where a blind man leads a blind man, they will both end up in a ditch. D-I-D, dead end ditch. Alright, so those are actually three of my favorite passages, and mostly because I'm going through something that that's just horrible. I think that that the prerequisite should actually be a counselor. You shouldn't just be able to petition for divorce and then get it like that. And that's sad because that's exactly how it happens. I think that all people who want divorce should have to go through counseling first, before they can even file. But I'm not supposed to talk about that, so we're going to talk about something else. Matter of the heart. Isn't that how we really all are? We make a big show. We go to church. But if you ask any high school student, any college student who isn't going to school for religion, theology, or something along those lines, if you ask them, how was church then? They always come back with, it was all right. And there are going to be times where we come into church and we sit there in the pew and we listen to the preacher, the pastor, the reverend, the father, whatever your religious bias is. But let us think about it this way. Just because it doesn't speak to our heart that one day doesn't mean that we should let that be how church is for the rest of the time afterwards. These are the words of the Lord that should move you. Now, see, I'm looking at this passage and I'm thinking, man, isn't that the truth? Because when I was younger, I believed in God and I believed in Him very much. And then I met a girl and that changed everything. I did what I wanted when I wanted. And that's not what you're supposed to do. There are rules to follow. But, those rules are stupid. Stupid rules. I hate those rules. That's just, these rules are old. Society's different today. That's true. The society of today is different. But think about it this way. When we act like we're worshiping God, but then we don't really mean it. Wow. We act so everyone in this world is an actor. We try to make people feel better, so we act one way. We act like nothing is bothering us when there's something that is completely just being a cancerous succubus inside of us, sucking out our energy. And the sad part is that today we use Jesus as a cover. He's cover art, if you will. Because we put this great picture on the cover, but in all actuality, when you open it up, sometimes it's just crud on that CD. It's just not good at all. So, because there was no effort, we didn't mean it. We were being self-serving, and we're using God for our advance. So we really do have our eyes screwed shut, as it said. Their ears are open and they don't hear a thing. Your eyes are awake, but you don't see a thing. Their eyes are screwed shut. So they don't have to deal with me face to face. Do you look at God face to face? It says It's said that even demons see the face of God and they shake. Are you scared of God? I've seen brimstone and fire. And what I mean is that today brimstone and fire comes in 5.56 and 7.62, 50 cal, 45. You see what that does to someone's body, and then that's it in the story. You lose your mind. And I don't mean the pictures on computer games, even though they're getting way more graphic, or the way that it looks on TV. We get let's talk about it on TV. We get so drawn in and accustomed to certain people on TV shows. We get a backstory, we get everything about it, and we're more interested in finding out about those people on TV shows and in movies and in video games than we are about the people who are sitting right beside us. We can tell that something's bothering them or that they need something. But instead of actually finding out, we screw our eyes shut and put our fingers in our ears and we act like nothing's happening. I'm going to leave you guys with that right now because I really, really don't feel good. So, but I'm going to tell you this as I go. It's easy to not see. It's easier to ignore. We open our eyes, open our ears, then we will see and hear what we're supposed to do. And though sometimes we see and hear what the people of the world want us to do, the people who are around us, then if we listen to them instead of listening to the full voice and seeing the full picture, then we end up running in a rut, being dead in a ditch, because we let everyone else run the way that we do things. So, there may be things that look better. There may be stars that look brighter. But the truth is that you were given certain things for a reason. God knew that you could handle the difficulties, that you could help make someone else better, and in the process make yourself better. So I ask you, what does God want you to do? What is He showing you? What is He telling you? Pull your fingers out of your ears. Stop squinting because of the brightness. Walk the path that you're supposed to walk because God told you to, not because everyone else told you to do. Alright, I'll hit you guys up later.